What is up, everyone? Welcome to round 7, the semifinals of the Portland Monthly Premodern Paper Magic Afternoon September 2025 tournament. We got two awesome decks to show you, so let's get into those deck lists. First up, we have Thomas Q with Enchantress. It's been a minute since we've had Enchantress on camera, and while the deck has definitely not gone anywhere, in fact, it's been putting up better results than ever, it's just been a while since someone's actually brought it, and Thomas here has been doing very well with it. Looking at the build, it looks pretty stock. I'm sure there's some adjustments here and there, some tweaks here and there. There's maybe one or two spice cards we can talk about. But if you're not familiar with the Enchantress deck as a whole, the whole goal is to play lots of enchantments. You have 8 cards that care about when you play enchantments and let you draw additional card. Those are your card value engines. And the deck wins in a few different ways. One of is Solitary Confinement, where you're just drawing so many cards, you're never going to be able to be, touched by your opponent, so they just give up. The other one is Opalescence, where all your big enchantments turn into big enchantment creatures and beat face. This deck also utilizes the Parallax Wave Opalescence combo to make sure your opponent never get to play a creature again. For those Enchantress effects, we have 4 Argothian Enchantress and 4 Enchantress Presence, which are in fact an enchantment themselves and help trigger drawing more cards. 3 Miri's Guile as a bit of card selection. This is a maybe not so recent change, but instead of running 4 Sylvan Libraries, the deck opts to run more Miri's Guiles as just a easier way for filtering. The deck draws so many cards already, usually only paying life to draw cards too. As for Sylvan Library, there's also one Elephant Grass, 1 Solitary Confinement, and 1 Kurtar's Desire, which is a really interesting enchantment, pseudo creature removal. It's like a passivism, but only when it has threshold, otherwise creatures can't attack, which is usually what you're trying to prevent anyways. And to find all those one-offs, there's 4 Sterling Groves, which not only give all your other enchantments Shroud, but also is a tutor. The deck also runs 2 Seal of Cleansings, 2 Opalescence, and 2 Parallax Wave, all which interact very nastily with each other. And to round off the enchantments, we have a bit of ramp with 4 Exploration and 4 Wild Growth. One thing I am noticing is that this list does not actually run any Replenish in main. As far as other interaction, it looks like he's running 3 Swords to Plowshares and a single crop rotation, probably to go find Terra Sanctum, which there is only 2. Usually I think these decks tend to run 3, as that is one of the best ways to benefit from playing just so many enchantments. I mean, it's in the same cycle as Gaia's Cradle. That gives you any indication of how powerful it can be. And speaking of the other lands, there's 4 Brushlands, 3 Plains, 6 Forests, 1 Rith's Grove, 1 Wooded Foothills, and 4 Windswept Heath. Oh, and I almost forgot. If you think this deck can lose by decking itself when it has a Solitary Confinement out, in fact, the deck actually runs 2 Gaia's Blessings, so good luck. As for the sideboard, it looks like he's running 2 Seal of Cleansings, 1 Carpet of Flowers, 1 Aura of Silence, 2 Sacred Grounds, 2 Abeyance, 2 Xantid Swarm, 2 Tasalo's Web, 1 Sphere of Law, the 4th Swords of Plowshares, and the 2nd Solitary Confinement. All in all, this is the epitome of a Pillow Fort deck. Thomas is looking to just draw tons of cards, prevent his opponent from interacting as best he can until he's ready to try and go for the win. This is a very strong list, obviously, and Thomas is a very good pilot, so this should make for some interesting games. Well, it looks like today's going to be the showdown of the control decks because we have Napcaster on Blue-White Landstill. This deck has also appeared on the channel a lot and a bit more frequently than Enchantress, so I'm not going to go through the overall concept other than it's a blue-white control list. Uses standstill, draw lots of cards, has lots of counter magic, has Decree of Justice to win the game. This deck photo took me a second to understand, so I'm going to run through it for you guys. The sideboard is actually at the very bottom there, but going through the list, looks like he's got 3 Decree of Justice, 1 Humility, 1 Powder Keg, 1 Phyrexian Furnace, 2 Exalted Angels, 2 Factor Fiction, 2 Disenchants, 4 Wrath of Gods, 4 Swords of Plowshares, 2 are in the Secret Lair art, I almost missed that, 3 Mana Leak, 3 Counterspell, 4 Standstill, and 4 Impulse. As for lands, I've got 4 Flooded Strands, a Coastal Tower, a Skycloud Expanse, 2 Fairy Conclaves, and a Dust Bowl on the right. And on the left, we have 4 Adarkar Wastes, some amount of Islands and Plains, and 4 Mishra's Factories. And in the sideboard, looks like there's the 3rd Exalted Angel, 1 Tormod's Crypt, 1 Chain of Vapor, 1 Silver Knight, 1 Spiritual Focus, 1 Chill, 2 COP Reds, the 4th Counterspell, 2 Annuls, 1 Seal of Cleansing, 2 Meddling Mages, and 1 Hibernation. Also a very strong list, also not surprising to see it here in the top 8, but oh man, are we going to be in for a bit of a slog, barring any, unforeseen mulliganing issues. Control versus control, neither of which is looking to end the game early, so settle in, and let's get to it. And here we go. Thomas is on the left, Napcaster is on the right. Whenever I have people put their info down for these videos, I always say you can use alias or a stream name. I'm assuming that's what Napcaster's is. I don't know if it's Twitch or TGO or what have you. Looks like he will be on the play, or the Perry Conclave pass. Swept Heath here from Thomas to fetch for a Miri's Guile. Just gonna say go after that. Notably no gushes in Napcaster's deck. Got a Mishra's Factory though, and there's a standstill. Got the man land. Standstill not as troublesome as that man land, obviously. I think in situations like this, you just resign yourself to cracking the standstill, and that looks like it's exactly what's going to happen. Our go with the Enchantress coming down. Yeah, your opponent's tapped out. They're playing a standstill list. Now is the time to slam down your key card. There's a disenchant on the Miri's Guile. And a Phyrexian Furnace, which is usually okay in an Enchantress matchup, but here with, I don't believe there's a single replenish in Thomas's 75. Not as good. Still not bad though. At the very least, Napcaster need to cycle draw a card. Fetch here for the planes. Thomas wanted to get all his colors in a painful manner. Tapping for 2. And there's a Sterling Grove. It's all other enchantment shroud. Tap the brushland. For an elephant grass. Elephant grass getting a bit of a read. It's essentially a propaganda that has a cumulative upkeep, with the added unfortunate benefit preventing all black creatures from attacking at all. Why that's called elephant grass, I don't know. But it's a really rude card. Has a cumulative upkeep of 1. And yeah, attacking creatures to pay 2. Just some land goes from Napcaster here. Thomas opting not to pay for the elephant grass. Maybe just wanting to preserve his life a little bit from the man lands that are on the field, but not worth the 1, which means this is potentially a dangerous turn. Wild Growth coming down. Tap for 3 now. There's an Enchantress Presence. Draw a card off the Argothian Enchantress. And on end step is a Factor Fiction. Looks like we got a fetch, an island, Decree of Justice, another Factor Fiction, and a Wrath of God. Yep, interesting pile. Decree, in fact, an island, and 1. A fetch and a Wrath the other. And Napcaster are going to take the Wrath here, maybe wanting to try and slow Thomas down a little bit. Now, even though that Enchantress Presence has a very prominent creature on the art, it's in fact not a creature, it is an enchantment. Wrath of God here only gets the Argothian Enchantress, which, while it does have Shroud, it's not immune to Wrath of God. There is an interesting moment as to when Thomas does want to crack this Sterling Grove. Right now, giving his enchanted presence. Shroud is fairly useful. Right, there's a Sanctum. That Sanctum is tapping for 3 currently. Okay, there's another Wild Growth. Draw another card. Sanctum taps for 4. Okay, making 4 white. 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 mana. There's an Opalescence. 4 floating. Draw a card. Thomas picking good times to be casting these things. There's another Argoth Enchantress. And a Seal of Cleansing. I believe that uses up all the mana floating. Draw 2 cards though. And, oh yes, Opalescence hitting the field, so there is additional creatures, which I'll get in. This is the win con here for Thomas. Seeing that Wrath of God get used, it's definitely holding him a bit. Okay, there's an Impulse. I think that was another Wrath of God. Now, I'm not sure what the normal amount for Wrath of Gods in Landstill lists are, but I thought it was usually around 3. Nowcaster runs 4. And we see the second one, yep, which he did. Find off the Impulse to essentially clear Thomas's board. Now, notably, Opalescence does not work on auras, so Wild Growths still stay. But that was the perfect time to find an answer there for Nowcaster. That was looking like it was going to be game as early as next turn. Alright, so Thomas having to rebuild a bit here. Nowcaster once again tapped out. Bit of free reign. Okay, there's a Guy's Blessing. Able to cycle in 3 cards into your deck and draw a card. Not nothing. Take the 2 Enchantress presents and the Sterling Grove. Makes sense. I forgot to check at the time, but I wonder if there was a mana up there for Thomas to have activated the Sterling Grove in response to the Wrath of God. I assume not. In fact, I believe he was tapped out. Okay, there's another Growth Enchantress. There's another Wild Growth. Draw a card. Again, this deck just draws so many cards. Tap for 2 green. There's another Wild Growth. That is the 4th one. And an Exploration with that 1 floating Wild Growth. And we are tapping for a lot here. 5, 6, 7. 7 white, 1 green. Another Enchantress. 5. There's another Opalescence. That's a little scary. Oh, we're just going for it. Alright, Opalescence. The Opalescence, draw 2. It does turn on swords for Nowcaster. Just passing. That actually maybe a bit of a miss there from Thomas. He could have swung in with one of the Opalescents. There's an Impulse. See, another Impulse. A Proxy, I believe those are Flooded Strands. If I remember in the deck correctly. We do allow Proxy. Yeah, we'll see if it's relevant. Thomas missing that damage with the Opalescence. So the wall, one on the board doesn't turn itself into a creature. Having a second one definitely does. Dust Bowl on the Sanctum is going to be a huge to Thomas's mana. Although he's drawn so many cards, he might just have his second copy in hand. Snapcaster is going to say go after that. I'll leave it up and counter magic. Needing to tap it all out for the Dust Bowl. Plans for turn. Here's Guile for turn. Draw 2. Seal Cleansing. Draw 2. Has a lot of mana up. The Sterling Grove. Draw 2. Oh, and a Swords on one of the Opalescents before the Sterling Grove hits. Oh, and very sneaky in response, Thomas using a Seal of Cleansing on the Opalescents. I don't know if that actually makes a difference, though. It presents the option to recur it, I guess. I mean, maybe that's what he wants. He does have one guy's blessing. Still shuffle that Opalescence in. I can see that potentially being the reason. Again, I don't believe Thomas has a replenish. If it's in the deck photo, I totally missed it. But once the enchantments hit the bin, really guy's blessing is the only way. Taking a point here. Okay, there's a Parallax Wave. Draw 2. Now Wave and Sterling Grove are interesting bedfellows. Whenever Thomas wants to use the Parallax Wave, he just has to exile his Sterling Grove first, which is totally doable, but worth noting. Another impulse here from Snapcaster. They're just trying to find another Wrath of God. I don't think I found it. Hands and pass. Plenty of mana up this time. Alright. Here's Guile, letting him look at the top 3 cards. Because Sarah's Sanctum. Suddenly, all the mana in the world available to Thomas. Already had a lot of mana. But it looks like Snapcaster has seen enough, and we're going to go to game number 2. And here we are in game number 2. Yeah, at a certain point, you gotta realize that the Enchantress player just has it. They've seen so many more cards than you, so many more resources than you. Better to shuffle up and try to stall things out. Next game. I'll go from Snapcaster. Thomas being with Mary's Guile again. Bloodstrand here from Snapcaster. Meddling Mage. What are we naming with Mage? So many good targets. I do believe there's a piece of paper by the dice that Snapcaster could write the name down. May just be left to wonder.
I feel like that's the scariest card against me.
Right, Wild Growth. I mean, Sterling Grove would be a good one.
Yeah, I feel like so much of this matchup really is going to be like.
But then again, so would Opalescence. There's a Xantid Swarm.
Yep.
And Exploration. Say go. Good.
2. Powder keg.
What a Powder Keg.
Seems good.
Powder Keg's an interesting one. Powder Keg does not hit enchantments, but will take care of the Xantid Swarm.
All crack.
Yep.
And also it takes care of Argothian Enchantress, so I can see why it would be a good include. So his Anti-Swarm, fun card. Good sideboard attack for combo-centric decks. It's a single green 0/1 flyer. Whenever it attacks, defending player can't cast spells this turn, and that's on the attack trigger. So the entire main phase 2, and the rest of the combat phase actually. It prevents Snapcaster from doing much. Alright, that swords is going to hit the Meddling Mage, so whatever it named is free. Alright, there's a powder keg.
Look at all this stuff I have at one.
But it doesn't hit enchantments.
Oh, true.
Yeah, it only hits artifacts and creatures. So
Snapcaster may be asking about CMC. Again, powder keg does not hit enchantments, only artifacts and creatures.
last game was all
Still a very powerful card,
Now this one is
both in Enchantress.
I will respond.
Or, Enchantress Presence, sorry. Even knowing these cards, the fact that that one also has a creature on it
Oh wait, you want to pretend like we take that back?
does, yeah, we are gonna mana leak, yep.
It's alright, I had the answer.
Does still trip me up. And interestingly, Thomas not waiting to attack in with the Xanted Swarm
I'll leave it at one.
before
You have 2 cards in hand.
trying to play out the Presence.
Go ahead.
Would have been a good test. Snapcaster did have something he wanted to hold up. Either way, probably going to swing in this time before casting anything. That is why it's in the deck. I'm just going to pass.
End your turn. I'm gonna impulse.
Counting on that Presence to persevere. Alright, we got Seal Cleansing, a bunch of lands. Again, that back of the card is Flooded Strand, I'm pretty sure. Which, caster wanting some lands here, maybe White Source. Be what? Yeah, I'll take it.
Alright, untap. When you have 2 cards in hand. Untap.
Oh, Seal Cleansing, okay. And draws a Disenchant.
Seal.
Seal Cleansing on the Mirror's Guile.
And then I'll pass turn.
They go.
I almost took a land, but I feel like
I almost think the Exploration is more dangerous in turn, but I guess Thomas has probably played out all lands.
Alright, found a land.
Another land drop here for Snapcaster. A little short on white mana.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say go. There's a Mirror's Guile. Is that worth annulling or disenchanting?
Turn, I will decree.
Oh, we are going to
I wish somebody had some soul.
decree here for 1.
There's a soldier token. So 1/1. I'll put a dice on it.
So Snapcaster with a 1/1 soldier.
Draw off the cycle. Untap. Draw.
Draws off the cycle, then draws for turn. There's a standstill. You have a man land
Go to attacks.
and a 1/1.
1.
Standstill.
We'll get there.
I think so.
Second main will
Yep.
play
Standstill.
standstill. Yep. And then second.
They go. Now the real question is, how much does Thomas care about this standstill? He's got something worth playing out now.
Before attacks, I'll pop this.
Yep. For,
So no trigger.
well, that's actually interesting. Thomas could have been saying go to attacks every turn. I think maybe just a bit of shortcutting here. May have cost him. Unless the Napcaster cracked it in response to the trigger, which he absolutely could have, but I think what happened is Napcaster said before combat. Yep, there's the annul. I think that is a bit of a sequencing error on Thomas's side. instead of just declaring attacks, he should definitely be moving to combat. Whether that was announced or not, unclear, but I'm assuming it wasn't. I think it was a shortcut there, giving Snapcaster the opportunity to respond. Alright, a 1-1 getting in.
Like 3 cards in hand.
He does have an Exalted Angel in hand.
I think I just have to push.
Not quite.
Take 1.
Oh wait, no, he can hardcast it. Yes, sorry, that's a Dark Art Waste. Take one. So
As the push punished.
I didn't recognize the printing.
I think I should have led with this other one to try and bait instead of that one.
Alright, Dama's in a bit of a sticky spot here.
Probably not good, so I'll toss out an Opalescence.
That Opalescence doesn't hurt,
Just in case I can
but
find
he just has a 1-1 currently.
cast you.
Say go.
So you got a 1-1.
Follow-up Parallax Wave would be pretty crushing.
We'll play that.
This is a Mishra's Factory. Get it in. Jump block the 1-1.
Yeah, and I'll gain 4.
Take 4. Gain 4.
I think it's pointless to kill.
Snapcaster's gonna say go. Thomas is down to 9. Doesn't
So good, I guess.
Better than a land?
look like he has much in hand, so we're just gonna play out 2 explorations.
I mean, that's not terrible. End of your turn.
A couple of 1-1s. And on your end step, decree 4.
Card off of it. Untap.
Draw off the decree, of course. Forget that. Best parts of that card is you draw another card when you make a bunch of dudes. Alright, it has a counterspell backup now. I think this is going to be
I'll activate Fairy Conclave.
again things. Cannot block the air, so taking 6 no matter what, plus another 4.
So I'll have to block
I
2.
think that is just game. Or is he down to 1? Down to 1. No caster with counterspell backup. I don't think it really matters. Yep. And Navcap says, hold up.
Yeah, I think.
I got this shiny counterspell. Nope, not even going to use it.
Wild growth, trigger,
Try and cast a Wild Growth.
the game.
Nope. Right, we are going to game number 3.
The deciding factor.
And here we are in game number 3. Always great when a match can go 3 games. That means both players usually got to do the thing at least once. You got to see the power of the Enchantress deck, just overwhelming value. Game 1. Game 2, we got to see the Landstill deck lock down the board. Looks like Navcaster does not like his starting hand, so mulligan, and we'll cut to win as a keepable hand. Looking for 7 here. Thomas kept his original 7. Or sorry, Navcaster looking for 6 here. Does still get a look at 7, but does not get to keep them. I see an annul. I see a swords. The swords are interesting. With Opalescence, they become relevant. But even then, I don't know if I like having an amount of them in there. Thomas here gonna fetch. Goes and finds a Plains of all things. He has at least one destiny. Usually deck relies on the Sanctums for white mana.
Let's crack this one too.
Fetch. Find that forest.
Green and toss out.
See a Sanctum, no Argothian Enchantress. This does dodge the annul and the swords in that caster's hand. Tap land, draw, that caster, or not Cloud of Fairies, but Fairy Conclave. Just gonna say go.
Another fetch land.
Teeth here for Thomas.
Too open, huh? Well, I guess let's fetch.
I'll go ahead and crack it. back-to-back fetches here, Thomas. Doesn't really thin the deck out that much, but gotta help a little bit. Alright, there's a Enchantress presence, which will get annulled. Thomas must have announced it. Napcaster, more than happy to fire that off. Also notably, Napcaster not cracking his fetch land right away. In this format, that's as good as any white or blue land until he needs the mana. So hibernation, so the draw from Napcaster there. Alright, he is going to go find, I presume, planes. Morph. Delta Angel, which was definitely game winner last time. But yeah, since Flood Strands and fetch lands in general for that matter can't grab dual lands, unless you're hoping to just have that percentage chance less of drawing a land. Ooh, a swords on the angel, that is huge. Yeah, there's no reason to crack it until you know exactly what mana you need. Alright, there's a Sterling Grove. Wall, Lampcaster is tapped out. A huge tempo swing there. Thomas gets draw a card off that as well. Doesn't really have anything worth shrouding yet. I guess technically Wild Growth is shrouded. There's a Meddling Mage. What is the most dangerous thing that Thomas could play? Solitary Confinement gets kind of scary, but Napcaster doesn't really have threat right now. Push damage. I mean, I guess he does technically have Meddling Mage. Meddling Mage have definitely won their fair share of games. 2/2 is not nothing. But I wonder if Opalescence is probably the name here. Alright, we're gonna sack Sterling. What? Alex Wave. Alright. That is also pretty scary. And probably not the thing Napcaster named. So, draw for turn. Thanks to the Sterling Tutor. Is that 2 Sanctums in Thomas's hand? Well, he has 1. Tap it for 1 currently. Play out the Parallax Wave. Draw a card off the Enchantress. Sanctum now taps for 2. There's Sabo's Web. That does lock down the Fairy Conclave, and also draws Thomas a card. A little bit of sideboard tech for him as well. Our Oasis will land for Napcaster. Gonna get in for 2, but we'll get tucked under the wave. Now, if Thomas does have an Opalescence in hand, he can play it out if that's what was named by the Meddling Mage. Then, got a guy's blessing here. Hit the Presence, the Grove, Swords. Shuffle those all back in, draw 1. But yes, if Thomas can find the Opalescence here, that does make things quite a bit tricky for Napcaster, unless he draws a Disenchant specifically for the Opalescence. He does have swords, but swords with wave is pretty useless. This is one of the reasons why I'm not a huge fan of the Parallax cards, is they are so hard to interact with once they're online. Yes, you can run counter magic. Yes, you can run hand attack. Yes, you can run graveyard hate against replenish, but we just don't have enough good tools to deal with how broken the Parallax cards really are. Then you get in the whole aspect of, you know, they weren't actually designed to work this way and didn't work this way during this time period, which is why we don't have the tools to deal with them. We got a lot of things happening here. Drawing some cards off the Enchantress effect. Plays out Sterling Grove. Sacks Sterling Grove to go find probably an Opalescence. Yep, I think both two were near the top. Well, I wouldn't say that's useless tutor, because no tutor, in fact. Useless even find the card right on the top. Couldn't have guaranteed it was there, so this way, sure got it. Now, can Thomas play out another enchantment here? Have 3. Seal cleansing, floating. Let's get the draw card. There's more than enough mana now. Without the Opalescence. Snapcaster, just look on. Unfortunately, does not have counter magic. It's looking at the swords. It's not going to do much. Tom is forcing the issue here. Do you have a way to interact with this wave? Which of course he doesn't. Right, he's going to exile the wave. Come back. 5 counters. Attempt to exile the Meddling Mage. And exile the wave itself. As long as Parallax Wave has at least 2 counters on it, Snapcaster cannot sort it. In fact, as it stands now, he would need 5 ways to exile it or kill it to get it off the battlefield. Which is insane. Just gonna say it right now, that's just insane. You do have to be able to kill the Opalescence. That's basically the only way to get rid of the wave at this point. Alright, swing in for 6. This is looking pretty grim for Snapcaster. Granted, a Wrath, I guess, also does solve things. The wave cannot blink itself out of a Wrath. But Thomas also just has a Seal Cleansing to hit the Opalescence. Save all of his enchantments. Of which I guess is really only going to be the wave after he hits the Opalescence. But, you know, still definitely an out. Tap 2. Another Enchantress. Now we play the game of how many enchantments does Thomas have? He's going to draw 2 more. Draw 2 more. That's 2 explorations, so play a total of 3 lands. Actually, don't know if he played his first land this turn. Just gonna go to combat for 6. And say go, and Snapcaster really just needs Wrath. It's the only thing that saves him. Disenchant is not nothing. It is just going to scoop it up and extend the hand to Thomas, who takes it down in 3. Alright, that was some pretty good magic. That was some very good technical play from both players. I do always appreciate an Enchantress player who knows what they're doing and can execute lines quickly without spending too much time in the tank. Thanks all you guys for making it this far. If you could hit that like button, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe to the channel as well. Those 2 things are free, and it helps the channel out a ton. If you've been subscribed for a while and you want to help support the channel financially, consider joining the Patreon. For as little as $1 a month, you get your name up here with all these other wonderful patrons. Could not make these videos without you guys. Thank you so much. You also do get access to a Patreon-only member section of the Discord, and yes, there is actually a heavy play in Discord. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you next time.